بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. كلية إمام الكاظم، أقسام ديوانية، قسم اللغة الإنجليزية، المرحلة الرابعة، مادة النحو. Today I'm going to talk about exclamation, section 7.63. Okay? When we discuss exclamation as a formal category, okay, of a sentence, we restrict our attention to exclamatory utterances introduced by what, plus noun phrase, or how. Okay, so usually when we want to use exclamation, we use what, how. What do they express? They express an extreme degree of some variable factor. Okay, like for example, how beautiful. Okay, how beautiful. But the variable may be left implicit. What does it mean here? It is implicit, the variable. We said what it express, or these express what, variable, which may be implicit. Implicit in the sense that, for example, sometimes when you say, what a book, what a book. Here, when we say what a book, could refer to a bad or a good book. Very bad book. What a book. Okay. What a movie. Sometimes here, when you are talking to someone and you say, what a movie. But here it depends on context, whether it is good movie or bad movie. Okay. What a movie. What a game. Okay. What a player. What a book, etc. Exclamations resemble. Here exclamations are similar to what? To WH questions. Of course, because as we said here, with who and what. In involving the initial placement of exclamatory WH element. Okay, the X element. We talked about this point. The syntactic order is therefore upset to the extent that X element, which may be object, complement, adverbial, as well as subject, may be taken from its usual statement position and put into what? A position of initial prominence. Okay, so it could be what? Complement, adverbial, this WH element, okay, or subject. So here, this is one resemblance. The second one, we have the second point here. We have what? We have contrast between WH question and exclamation. Here there is generally no subject, operator, inversion. Okay, no subject, operator, inversion. Usually when we want to make WH question, we should have subject, operator, inversion. But here no, it's the same. Okay, so here as if we have enormous crowd and verb. What enormous crowd? Here SV. So here X element as what? As subject. What an enormous crowd came. We didn't say, for example, what did enormous crowd come? Okay. Here, or as object, what a time we have had today. You see, or here, X element as direct object. What a time we have had today. We didn't say here, what a time have we had today. If we said, what a time have we had today, it will be what? WH question. But what time we have had today? It is what? Exclamation. And usually we know this by the exclamation or exclamatory mark. Also can be a complement. Okay, here you can see subject complement SV. For example, how delightful her manners are. How delightful are her manners? This is WH question. But how delightful her manners are. They are very delightful. Okay, for example, how delightful her manners are. So it is what? Complement. can be adverbial, also adverbial here. How I used to hate geography. What a long time it lasted. You see? As if we can say it lasted a long time. So a long time is what? Adverb. So here X element as adverb or adverbial. Better to say adverbial. The X element, like the Q element of the WH question, can also act as prepositional complement. Also can be prepositional complement. The preposition normally being base point. Here it means what doing by base point means it comes later on. Okay, in the end. For example, what a mess we are in. What a mess we are in. Okay, this is prepositional complement. It means as if we are in a big mess, or we are in a mess. What a mess we are in. What a mess we are in. This is about exclamation. Now we come to this section, formula. Okay, as if we are going to deal with something irregular, something exception or exceptionality of language. Okay, till the end of this chapter we have 2 or 3 sections here. There are some sentences which, though appearing to belong to one of the major classes, in appearance it may belong, okay, to other classes. In fact, enter in a few of the relations of substitutability that are common to members of those classes. Okay, it will be clear here. For example, for instance, the greeting formula appropriate to the first meeting. For example, how do you do? How do you do? Here, as I said, appearing to belong to one of the classes. It appears that it belongs to WH question. How do you do? Okay, how do you do? It is WH question. Okay, appearance. It appears, but it is what? It is not WH question. It does not have any relationship to WH question. Rather, here it is not in need of an answer. Here, for example, when you say how do you do, you cannot say here they asked me how he did, or here for example, I do very well, or I do very well. No, here it is exception. It is formula. It is something we can say idiomatic expressions. Let us put it in this way to be more clear. Okay, so they asked him, or sorry, how do you do? This is something stable, something idiomatic. How do you do? How do you do? Okay. So another exceptions we have here. Two slightly less restricted kinds. Two kinds of WH questions are questions without auxiliary. Okay. This exceptionality. Also, we have some other exceptions. For example, this is the structure that y plus not a plus a predication or prediction. Sorry. So why get so upset? Why do you get so upset? Why get so upset? You see here? Why not enjoy yourself? Why don't you enjoy yourself? Why don't you enjoy? So here, omitted. Okay. Also here we have how, what about type of question. What about the house? How about joining us? This exception. How about joining us? How about watching this movie, for example? How about coming with us? You see? These are not formulaic in the previous sense, but are irregular. They are what? They are irregular. In which sense they are irregular? In the sense that they lack some of the elements normally found in a WH questions, as I said, which are the elements, like for example, you, don't, okay? For example, here, as I said, why not join or enjoy yourself? Why don't you enjoy yourself? Okay? There are also patterns which are defective in terms of regular clause. Okay, so it is irregular. Here defective, okay, they lack, it means here they lack regularity. So they are defective in terms of regular clause or sentence structure, such as the verbless imperatives. Verbless, without verb. These are exceptions. Okay? They are imperatives. Off with lid. Off with the lid. Off with the lid. So it is here imperative, but it starts with what? With preposition. But here it is what? Since this is, as I said, it is idiomatic, we can say it is idiomatic. So off with it means what? It means take off the lid. Cut with it. You can check their meaning. You can Google them. Out with it. Out with it. Sorry, cut or out. Out with it here. Not cut. It is out. Out with it. So all of them here, they start with the preposition. So how they are imperative? They are idiomatic, as I said. So out with it, it means what? If you just check it on the internet, you can see that out with it, it means say. Say, what are you thinking? So here it is imperative, command. Say, what are you thinking? Tell me, what are you thinking? Down with the pauses. Down with the pauses. Down with the noise. Down with the pauses. And stop. Stop the noise. Stop the pauses. Okay? So here it is what? This is exception. This is verbless imperative. Verbless imperatives. You see? They are defective in terms of regular, because it's something irregular. Such as regular clause or structure. But these are exceptions. To this, we may add a number of exclamatory types. Here we have another exclamatory types with if question, if condition, with like for example, if only I listened to my parents. As if here, I regret to think I was once a millionaire. To think, here with two infinitive. Or for a drink. Or to be free. Or for a drink. Or to be free. These are different types. You and your statistics. You and your statistic or statistics. John and his ideas. John and his ideas. See, exclamation. Cristiano Ronaldo and his goals. Okay? Messi and his skills. حتى ما حد يزعل عيني. Now, for some fun. You see, these are different types of exclamatory. Just examples here. Apart from such cases, there are sentences which contain fossilized elements. No, what does it mean, fossilized elements? It means no longer productivity, no longer, they are obsolete, no longer used. Okay? And in present daily English, they are what? They are called subjunctive. Subjunctive combined with inversion. For example, far be it from me to spoil the fun. For example, suffice to say, we lost. You can check them in Google. You can Google them simply. Long live Enak. Long live the Queen, for example. Long live. Why نقدر بالعراق نستعملها long live. This is with inversion. This is without inversion. God save the Queen. God bless you. Or save the Queen symbol. Or bless you. Okay? We use it this without inversion. Bless you. It means God bless you. Slightly less archaic. Sorry, archaic, it means old formula for expressing a wish. This is very important. To express a wish. Do you have this structure? May plus subject plus predication. Okay? May last subject, last prediction. May the best man win. May you be happy. So when you wish something to someone, for example, may Allah bless you. May Allah accept your fasting. May Allah accept your prayers. You see here? The structure, you wish. Okay? بالدعاء, this is, you have to use it يعني, when you pray. May Allah bless us. May Allah save us. May Allah save you. May Allah bless you. Okay? Here we have this simple note. In very familiar style, we find the question formula. How come? Sometimes we have how come we use it. How come you missed the bus? Also we have this how goes it? Okay, we use these things without do paraphrases. Okay? So sometimes we can use these. How come? Sometimes how come? How come? Okay, how come? Something idiomatic, something formula. Aphoristic sentences. We'll have aphoristic sentences and block language, and we'll finish this. What is aphoristic sentences? Among other minor sentence types is aphoristic sentences or sentence structure found in many proverbs. We can find aphoristic sentences in many proverbs. For example, the more the merrier. Least said, soonest mended. Handsome is as handsome does. Beauty as beauty does. Easy come, easy go. You can see these all have one structural feature in common: the balancing. This is aphoristic sentences. The balancing of two equivalent constructions against each other. Balance. So you balance. There are two structures. You have to balance between them, or there is balance between them. We can say it in this way. While they must all be considered grammatically anomalous. What is anomalous? It means here deviation from the norm. Deviation. It means something which is not normal. Deviation. Like when we say it is ungrammatical. Can put it in this way. Deviation يعني انتهاك للنوم للقانون النحو rule, grammatical rule. So they are anomalous. Okay? So they are what? Deviation or deviating from norm. This note in section 1135, we don't need it, not important. We come here to block language. You have to read the proverbs. You have to see their meaning. Okay, you may be asked in the exam about the meaning of some proverbs in this book and out of this book. Block language from its name. Block. Okay. مو block مال حضر وكذا. لا, block يعني block language. From its name, block language. We will talk about this. This is very important, and it is usually used, especially in newspapers, in magazines, especially the titles. Okay, title of some movies. This is very important. It's usually used, and maybe some of you ask why we have this grammatical mistake, or we have certain words or certain articles, verbs are deleted from this title. Why do we have this? Is it a mistake or an error by the writer? Is it intended or not? It is something done purposely or not? Yes, it is. Why? Because this is a block language. So block language, there is what? In addition to the formula of colloquial means here informal conversation. There is a whole realm of usage where, because of its rudimentary communicative role, language is structured in terms of single words and phrases rather than in terms of the more highly organized units of clause and sentence. You see, usually language is structured in terms of single words and phrases rather than organized long sentences. Language so used may be termed block language. So what is block language? This is block language. This is the definition. When we have when we use, for example, certain or single words or phrases instead of using long, highly organized units of clause or sentences. We can add نقدر نضيف على تعريف. For example, we can say it appears in such functions like labels, titles, headings, notices, and advertisements. Simple block language messages must often consist of noun phrase, a noun or noun phrase, or nominal clause in isolation. No verb is needed because all else necessary to the understanding of the message is furnished by context. Okay, so as I said, block language when we have single words or phrases instead of long sentences, long organized phrases or sentences. Certain elements are deleted. Why they are deleted? Because it is, or the message is understood. It can be understood. We can understand the message depending on context, so we don't need to enlarge title or something. We need to shorten it, make it short. Here we have example: entrance, English department, okay, danger, falling rocks, grammar of contemporary English, how to win friends. Here, for example, we have, see a more clear, in newspapers, for example, film star marries ex-priest. What is this grammatical? If we want to analyze it, what does it lack? تفتقر. It lacks what? Articles. It is SVO, okay, but it lacks article. The film star, okay. In X, AN here we need, okay. Number 2, election, a landslide for socialists. Here we have S, subject and subject complement. So here we don't have what? We don't have verb. Nixon to meet Asian primaries. Here with what? SVO. Nixon to meet. Is to meet. Is going to meet. For example. Is going to meet. Is to meet. For example. You see? Share prices now higher than ever. Subject. Adverb. Complement. We don't have what? Verb. Etc. Changes of Middle East. Peace. Improving. So this is what usually we find it if you read magazines, Independent, Daily Mail, Sun, okay? You can't read the titles, especially on Facebook, on these pages. You can see that there are certain things omitted, deleted, purposely by the writer. Why? Because you don't need. The situation is clear. But when you go deep and read the article, no, you find everything as it is. You find everything is well formed, okay? Unless if there is something, or I mean, if there is a mistake which is not intended, unintentionally, okay? These differ from orthodox clause structures in having different tense conventions. See, as we talked about this, tense in omitting clause system words of low information. So we usually omit what? Low information values such as article and finite forms of the verb be, is, are, was, where we delete. We delete articles, no need. This is not also, for example, prohibitions on notice boards often assume the special block language form. For example, No smoking. It means you should not smoke. No entry. No authorized entry after that. You see? This is what we mean by block language. Thank you so much. If you have any question, you can ask.